Hello everyone, welcome to Fearfully Greedy. In today's video I will talk about Naga Corp, a new addition to the portfolio. A bit gimmicky kind of stock, probably you don't know about it. In Spain it's quite popular because Gabriel Castro is kind of popular on Twitter and he has this position, so all credit to him. Remember, do your own research. I'm very biased because I hold this stock, so please do your work. This is just an idea. I'm not a financial advisor and most likely not a financial advisor to you, maybe only to me. So let's go. Since the last video, I bought 4,000 shares of Naga Corp. The ticker is in the Hong Kong Stock Exchange 39.18, and I bought at $5, which now is a bit lower. Okay, I think this thesis has 5 legs, but let's talk first about the business. It is located in Cambodia, okay, so south of China, next to Vietnam and Thailand. The capital of Cambodia is where the casino is. So this stock is a holding company which holds a casino, which a few kind of buildings around it. It has some other projects we'll talk about, but that's their main revenue generation. And they are in the center, right next to the Mekong River. The story for this company is that they started in 1995 when the founder, Dr. Chen, got the license to operate a ship casino, and they had it in the same river as I was showing you, and that ran until 2003 when they made the first Naga Vault, which is a hotel casino located here, okay, and it's still running today. It has had an expansion in 2017, which added some tables and some rooms. We'll talk also about Naga 3 in the end, so you will see how many tables and a bit more information. But just so you know, yeah, the current rooms grew a lot with Naga 2. Tables not so much, machines not so much. It's more of an hotel, Naga 2. Naga 3 is slightly different than that. Okay, if we take the last year's numbers, so 2022, we can see that the pandemic really hit them pretty hard. They are still kind of positive, so doing still some money, $460 million, so everything is in dollars. And just so you know, for casinos and resorts and hotels, there are like kind of two markets. One is the mass market, where you would go to a casino, you play on the tables, anyone can enter. There's also the machines, which tend to be in the entrance top layer, like just you put some coins and you play on them and everything. And the other thing is the VIP market. Okay, so you can see mass market, machines, and then the premium or VIP market. So I'd rather look at 2019, which was the last normal year, and that makes more sense for me. If you see, VIP market is most of the revenue, but as you see, much lower margin. If we see public tables, the revenue is much smaller, but it's almost fully profit, okay? And then machines, similar deal. Almost everything is profit. And if you see for them, what is the hotel, the shops, because they have like a mall and that, it's a very small part of their business. But if you see, they were growing a lot. Naga 2, the expansion came online in 2017, okay? And if you see, they have taken good advantage of that. They were running at close to 85% capacity at that point for the hotel, and that also translates kind of for the casino. But if you see, well, growing quite a lot, very fat margins. If you want to compare this to their market cap, it's like $2.3 billion, and they were doing net, so net profit, net earnings, $500 million. So not bad. They have some debt at the moment, especially for the last years and expansion, but it's 300 million. In a normal year, that just gets smoked. It disappears. But that's kind of their business. One location casino, very, I think, good operations. We'll talk about that. First leg of the thesis is that tourism is, I think, coming back. If you see tourism in Cambodia, it was going up and up and up until the pandemic came. It fell to the floor. how are we doing at the moment? If you see 2023 is the blue with the dots. Year before 2022, we came from almost nothing and it was picking up. 2021, as middle of pandemic, nothing. 2020, it was going great, similar to 18 and 19. But then pandemic came and everything was banned and we stopped. So we're not back to normal, but pretty back to normal. One caveat. For the casino, most of the profit comes from the Chinese customers or Chinese tourists who come to play. Okay, so if we see for this year, 230,000 persons from China came, but if you see the main countries now is Thailand and Vietnam. If we compare this to 2019, okay, which was our best year, it was like 5 times that. Okay, so we're not doing that great on that front. So I don't expect 2023 to be back to normal, but it's going in the right direction. Restrictions are lifting. There are many news about that. You can look for yourself. Probably it will open again. Why Chinese come here to play is because in mainland China it's mostly banned. We'll talk about that in a second. And people, like a government doesn't like their people to be playing. Maybe it's not a very productive thing, so they rather have them go somewhere else. So mainly it's a part of lotteries. It's mainly banned in China. If we see, it's picking up, not as 2019, but it's coming. It's coming on our direction. Next step is I wanted to make a point about gambling and gaming. As people have more of their basic needs met, one thing they do is they go for leisure activities, and one of them is gambling, gaming. Is it the most noble one? I don't know. Who am I to tell? If they love it, go for it. If they don't ruin themselves financially, that would be great. Always play. If you play with a small amount for fun. If you have an addiction, seek help. All that kind of stuff. But as more people are more well off, and a small part of them will be looking for gambling and gaming and that kind of thing because they like it. What can I say? Also about the Chinese, as I said, it's a cultural thing. It's from thousands of years ago. They always had like this draw into gambling and gaming and playing with money, and they still have that. It's like for a developed nation is like #1 in gaming addiction, gambling addiction, which is not good. As said, it's not that. I think NagaCorp is trying to get of those people. I think most of their people are they are high rollers, but they don't care that, like, they make some money, they lose some money, but it's not like they are ruining themselves financially. I think I don't know. I'm looking for the good part of it, probably. I don't know. I feel better about investing in this than in a tobacco company. What can I say? Then another thing for the thesis is the license. Okay, they have a ridiculous setup, which I don't see anywhere in the world, where this company has an exclusive license, okay, for no other casino in 200 kilometers. The monopoly right, let's call it that, it's until 2045. Okay, no other casino can be here. There are a few exceptions, but in Phnom Penh, I will butcher the name, sorry, no one can have an operational casino there. And then the license is until 2065. This shows how high ties Dr. Chen, the main shareholder, controlling shareholder and founder, has with the government. This also in 2019, it was extended. Okay, so it was in 2019 that instead of 2035, it was extended to 2045. Well, 36 and 45. But it shows that very recently they had a good relationship. Gabriel also pointed out that the Dr. Chen gifted 15 million in the middle of the pandemic to buy masks and shots and everything. And the same prime minister or the president or whoever runs Cambodia really thank them. Okay, thank him publicly. Also, this monopoly now is in the constitution of Cambodia, which seems pretty solid. Anything can happen. I mean, I don't live there. I don't know exactly how things are run, but to me it looks good. And if Gabriel thinks it's good, I think it's good. Then about the same operation, it's not that it's just run in a very out there like country, and it's just that everything is very cheap. They also have they are running a tight ship. Okay, one thing to look in casinos is like win rates. Like if you are playing a specific game of cards in one casino, you should be winning on a certain percentage. If not, people are like, I don't know, money laundering or like something funky is happening, or they are playing the casino and making money out of you. So if we take a look at win rates for Bips is around 3% across the board. They are 2.7, so they win less in Naga World. Public tables, we also have a smaller win rate, which to me, okay, it's bad for the short-term casino, but it's good that you kind of draw more people and maybe you have a fairer games. I don't know. I'm not an expert at casinos, but I wanted to compare between like all the, especially Macau casinos. So I took a few of them to check out. And then machines, surprisingly, Naga World has double the margin in machines, like 8%, where everyone else is maximum 4 or 5. Okay. Then full credit to ChoivoCapital, who took a look at doubtful debt. So when a junket comes, it's who bring like the high rollers, the players, is who invites them and kind of has the relationship with them. You might give them a credit line for the players to play, and at the end they should pay back in cash or whatever. And so you don't want this number to be very high. Also, doubtful means this one you think you won't collect back. And it should be a very small percentage. If we see 2010, it got a bit high. This for Naga World, and this is for Genting, so we can a bit compare. This doubtful debt to total gaming, and if we see it's ridiculous. 2015 it was 15%. They thought they wouldn't get back, and probably they didn't get that back. I did an extra one, which is Win, because they had that information out there, and it shows also pretty tight ship, not as tight as Naga, which in 2016 was 1.3, but later it was 0.3 or less percent of total revenues, and for BB is less than 0.5. If we compare, we are lower in most years. This one a bit higher than the usual, but very low doubtful debt. So they have kind of tightened the ship, maybe not lending to who they shouldn't. Also, there was a point of they can collect those debts a bit easier than in other places. We won't go into there, but yeah, not that much doubtful debt indeed. And then I want to check gross margins. One thing that Naga has is maybe a bit lower cost in general for like a croupier. In the next slide we'll see that. But if we compare gross margins in 2018 and 19, I said to me the last normal years, we see that NagaCorp was having higher gross margins than all the other big casinos in the world, all the best casinos in the world. Which a gross margin of 47% in a physical business seems pretty good. Not gonna lie. This is from Gabriel. Also, if we see costs, a croupier in Cambodia earns per month $400 to $500, where if you go to Macau, like the next location for playing, it's where everyone goes. It's also pretty lucrative, but they would be paying $3,500 per croupier. So those costs just either you can give people lower costs for everything, you can drive them in with this lower cost, sell more of the gaming side. Also the cost of building the rooms, it's 0.74 million, so 3/4 of a million per room, where if you go to Macau, it's 2.5 million for a room, or Singapore, 3 million. Like in Singapore, there are also a lot of casinos. So much lower cost. If we go to tax, the tax situation has changed in the last years. I think it was 2021 where they set it in stone, but well, a big change. Usually, to skip, you would pay some percentage of gaming gross revenue and a bigger percentage of mass gross revenue. So BIP lower percentage, mass bigger percentage, or only like total. But if we compare to Macau, Philippines, Vietnam, we can see that first, this new percentage is so much lower, like 4% to 35%, 7%. Well, this is all, okay, so if we combine them, let's say 5.5%, 35% in Macau, which taxes, well, that's also a cost. 17 and 27 instead of 4 and 7, 15 and 35. Well, you can get the point. In the end, if these were the last numbers, if that split stays where they have their current revenues coming, because there's also 5% on like profit, so business profit as anywhere anywhere in the world. In Cambodia, you don't pay business profits in casinos so far. And then in Macau, it's 12%. So over that, whatever you make in profit, 12%. Over that, whatever you make in profit, 30%. Which is normal. Like I run a business, I pay my 25% profit. They don't pay that. This is so beneficial to shareholders, to people that own the company. So yeah, the tax situation is still very good. Now it's around 15% tax, taking into account all this. Okay. Finally, I want to talk about expansions. There are three things being built. Two of them we will discard. One is a casino they were trying to do in Russia. This is now completely stopped. I would value it at 0. I don't think it will finish. Maybe in 10 years they do it, but I don't think that's the future. Then Cambodia has this Angkor Lake of Wonders. So they have this temple of Angkor, and it's like protected, or it's one of the 7 wonders of the world by UNESCO. And the country gifted NagaCorp terrain 500 meters away from the temples, so they couldn't build an hotel and leisure complex. Okay, they proposed something, UNESCO didn't like it. Probably they will be back and forth a few times, and eventually they will get something working. I still would value it 0, because we don't need this for this valuation to make sense. Let's take out the real growth here. Naga 3. Okay, Naga 3 is like 2 streets down, let's say, from Naga 1, Naga 2, this Naga 3. Naga 3 will be a huge expansion for them in terms of rooms and tables. It will look like this. You see, much higher. Okay, this would be Naga 2, if I'm correct. And if you see, it's humongous. Very, very big. The expansion, it would more than double tables, it would more than double machines, and then rooms, same thing. So it's like another level. Also having updated everything, because Naga 1 is 20 years old. Okay, Naga World 1 is 20 years old. So probably the rooms not looking as good anymore. So you always need to either remodel or model or make a new thing. How much has this cost? The project is for 3.5 billion. The way it's structured is that each one takes half. NagaCorp pays for half. Dr. Chen, so this is the guy, pays for the other half. And the way it's set up, all extra costs, Dr. Chen pays for them. All undercuts are saved for Naga, so pretty beneficial for Naga. Also, the great thing is that it's structured at that it will be paid in stock at 12 Hong Kong dollars, where now it's trading at 4 something. So it's 3 times less the price. I don't know if they will renegotiate or something, but it looks good. The news on this project is that they said they would delay it because the plan was thought so it would finish like next year or the other one. And what they will do is delay it until 2029. Not everything, but probably most of the rooms, and they are just pushing the line a bit down, so the COVID situation finishes, they can operate at full scale, having all the cash flow, and then they can do it properly. Probably they will finish the casino part first, so they can get the real cash in from that, and then they will finish rooms eventually. What does that happen? Because Dr. Chen has a very high ownership already of the company. 69% is owned by this guy, founder. And after the deal, if everything goes as planned, he will have, to my numbers, 76%. If I'm wrong, you can do your numbers, but I just added whatever would be issued and given to him, and it gives me 76% of ownership. So the guy really believes in it. Really believes in the stock, in the company. He built it, and I'm happy to go along. Okay, this would be all the points for this thesis. I hope I was concise, but I wanted to do very intense valuation analysis. Well, I said market cap is 2.3 billion, 300 million debt. I said the debt, as things start running, this will melt completely. If we compare to the numbers they were doing in 2019, and nothing tells me they shouldn't do those numbers, it's trading at 5 times those net earnings. And if we expect Naga 3 to eventually be up and running, maybe in 5 years, I don't have... I'm not in a rush, let's say. It's 2 times. I think valuation it's juicy. I like it. Also, meanwhile, all profits, extra profits, around 50 to 70% to 80% have been paid in dividends. I'm happy to cash those out. And I think that's pretty much it. I bought, I said, 4,000 shares for a total cost of 2,395 euros with 45 cents. Then the portfolio is looking like this: 36,500 euros, which other than 1,000 euros I have added all from my cash. Carvana has moved a lot in the last days, so now it looks like a ridiculous position, maybe a ridiculous portfolio. But yeah, Warren Metcalf, Carvana, Pax, Wine, Baba, and now Naga Corp. I will report back with a bit of updates on the positions, and maybe if I find a fun stock, either if I invest or not, I might bring a thesis or a description or analysis of the stock very soon. Okay, thank you for watching. Take care. Be safe.